Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update about BTS and everything going on behind the scenes. Because what's unfolding right now? It's bigger than anything we've seen before. Let's dive into it. 30 minutes ago, something happened that no one expected. Taeyong finally spoke the truth. Jungkook couldn't hold back his tears. And the question lingering in every ARMY's mind now is chilling: is this the beginning of the end for BTS? The reunion wasn't supposed to be emotional. It was supposed to be a celebration. A rare moment where the members, scattered across solo schedules and military duties, finally came together again. A quiet private dinner in Seoul. No media. No cameras. Just BTS, together, 7 brothers sharing stories, laughter, maybe some nostalgic tears. But then, Taeyung stood up. His voice was steady, but his eyes gave him away, moist, intense, searching. Jungkook immediately sensed it. Everyone did. The mood shifted from warm and sentimental to something that felt more raw. Unfiltered. Real. Taeyung, known for being the deep thinker of the group, the quiet philosopher who expresses more through his art and eyes than his words, chose this exact moment to speak truths that, according to insiders, had been weighing on his chest for years. He began by recalling their earliest days, not just the glamorous rise or the glittering stages, but the lonely nights, the uncertainty, the moments of doubt that nearly broke them before the world even knew who BTS was. He spoke about how the group had evolved into something so big, so powerful, that sometimes even the members themselves felt like passengers in their own story. Then came the bombshell. According to those present, Taeyong whispered words that stunned the room into silence. Sometimes. I wonder if we lost ourselves along the way. That one sentence pierced the air. The man who gave us inner child, the one who always smiled through fan meetings and stage performances, was now questioning the very foundation of their identity as BTS. And that's when Jungkook, seated across from Taeyong, visibly broke down. He didn't try to hide it. No carefully planned PR smiles. No scripted words. Just tears, raw, unfiltered emotion from the youngest member who has always seen the Hyungs as his emotional anchor. You see, Jungkook and Taeyung have always shared a unique bond. From their earliest dorm days to late-night gaming sessions and quiet walks in hotel corridors, their friendship wasn't just brotherhood, it was a lifeline in an industry that often chews people up and spits them out. But even lifelines fray. And now, standing at the edge of a new era, some members in the military, others deep into solo careers, the very thing that made BTS a phenomenon is now becoming a question mark. Who are they without BTS? And can BTS exist without the 7 together? Taeyong continued. He didn't speak with bitterness, this wasn't a meltdown. It was a confession. An unraveling. A necessary purge of the weight he had carried. He talked about the pressure of perfection. The toll of constantly being in the public eye. The endless scrutiny. The fear that one wrong step, one misunderstood action, could jeopardize everything they've built. He revealed something shocking too, something no one expected. There was a time, he admitted, where he considered stepping away. Not from the group, but from the persona. From the idol mask that often felt glued to his face. And if he felt that way, who else did? Jungkook's sobs weren't just for what Taeyong said, they were for what it revealed about all of them. Because if Taeyong, the steady soul of BTS, had thought these thoughts, what about Jimin, who battles anxiety behind his angelic smile? Or RM, the leader burdened with the task of holding everyone together? What about Suga, who has spoken in cryptic verses about depression and burnout? This wasn't just a moment. It was an unraveling. And yet, in this unraveling, there was an undeniable sense of healing. For the first time in a long while, BTS wasn't performing, they were just being. vulnerable, real, human. But here's where it gets even more intense. After a long pause, Jin reportedly placed his hand on the table and looked directly at Taeyung. What he said next sent a chill through the room. If this is the end, we need to decide together. Not as idols. Not as a brand. But as brothers. The silence that followed was described as haunting. Even the waitstaff outside the private room noted the stillness, as if time had paused inside those walls. It's moments like these that redefine legacies. Because BTS, as we know them, are more than global superstars. They are a living, breathing symbol of hope for millions. They've inspired armies of fans to dream, to speak themselves, to love themselves. But even the brightest stars flicker when they burn too long. And now the question that no one ever wanted to ask is being asked: will BTS end? But before anyone could respond, before the final decision could be discussed, someone unexpected entered the room. It was none other than Namjoon, RM, who had just arrived, slightly late due to a prior engagement. The leader, the philosopher, the one who often carries the weight of the group's silence with carefully crafted words, paused in the doorway as he sensed the thick tension blanketing the room. He didn't need to ask what had happened. One look at Jungkook's tear-streaked face, Taeyung's trembling hands, and Jin's locked gaze was enough. Quietly, Namjoon stepped inside, took a seat, and said something that caught everyone off guard. Then maybe it's time we stop pretending. That sentence cracked the final layer. What followed was not chaos, not an argument, but a soft avalanche of truths. Yoongi leaned back in his chair, eyes half closed but listening, absorbing. Jimin clutched a tissue in his lap, his voice shaking as he admitted he too had considered disappearing, just for a while, to find out who he really was without the cameras, the rehearsals, the stage lights. "We built something so beautiful," Jimin said. "But it's so big now, it doesn't feel like ours anymore." Each member, in turn, spoke not as a performer, not as a celebrity, but as a human being. Hoseok, J-Hope, reflected on the irony that even during their greatest highs, he often felt the loneliest. If this video moved you, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think BTS will return stronger, or is this the peaceful closing of a chapter? Let's talk about it down below. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and remember, even stars need time to heal.